Hey, here is my SPF California State meet recap, including my thoughts, experiences, elation, plans, etc., etc. So I thought I'd just put the raw footage in here so I have some time to talk and divide this up into thoughts before the meet, thoughts during the meet, and thoughts after the meet. Going into the meet, I was really nervous the day of, like. In a way that you can't really describe. I mean, you can do all the preparing in the world, and for those of you guys who haven't competed in a powerlifting meet, nothing really prepares you for getting up on stage and doing something that you practiced over and over in a gym setting. It's fundamentally different somehow. And for those of you that do compete, I haven't stepped up on a stage since just about a year, actually, just a little bit over a year since Raw Unity of last year. So all through squat, I was extremely nervous. Um, we had been working on my diet, and I had to sauna twice the night before weigh-ins. And even as I weighed in, I was a little bit heavy. I had to go squeak out a few drops of pee and spit a little bit. And Cara Weston, one of the meet directors, was kind enough to let me tweak around and wiggle my way on the scale to make sure that I just made 198.0. So I'm going to make sure next time that I don't have to do that. And, I spent about 4 weeks dieting. I can do a lot better than that, and I can come in a little bit under just to make sure that I can eat up to the show, and so that's not something added on your mind. And the more variables that get introduced the day of the show, I think the more nervous you become. And I'm using a thicker bar than I normally do. We've got a monolift here. There's just all kinds of stuff that's new to me, and I just want things to be as close to my training environment as possible. Or in other words, maybe I can try to make my training environment as close to a meet as possible. The crowd and judges kind of add an element of surprise that you don't really get accustomed to. But something needs to change so that I'm not as nervous the day of the meet. My other thought was, hell, it's fine being nervous. I mean, if you're not nervous anymore, you should be doing a different sport. If you're nervous and excited, that should be a good sign. Thoughts during the meet. I had an amazing time. I came in and did exactly what I wanted to do. I went 9 for 9 at the meet. I blew up my old PRs from last time I competed in either 181s or 198s. I helped out some people. I met some great people. This wonderful guy named Dave pulled a hamstring, so I busted out the voodoo floss and some warming balm and kind of helped him out and guided him through some recovery. I had some amazing friends from 3D Muscle Journey come through, including Alberto Nunez, Andrea Valdez, Brandon Lee Wells, Renee Torres, who came up and rode with us, and a bunch of other people who just came out to support. And it means so much to me to have them there and to have them kind of guide the day through and talk to. And Alberto managed to give me a lift off my bench press. He did it absolutely perfectly. So it's that community feel that really makes things special. What other thoughts during the meet? I wasn't allowed to wear a beanie. I don't know why in SPF you're not allowed to wear a beanie, but that's another element that I was used to having that is new to me here. I think in the future I won't take as large jumps from my first attempt to second attempt. I played it super conservative on my openers, which in some senses is good. I just think that I can kind of get them a little bit closer to each other next time. I just hit a 575 squat, so I'm on to bench now. And I was in the second flight and consistently opening the heavier one, so I need to make sure that I'm doing competitions that challenge me more, where there are more people that lift closer to what I do, or have me enter into tougher competitions. I'd love to see Bryce in a meet. I know he's competing pretty soon, and I'll talk a little bit later about how he's affecting my training coming up. I hit a 575 squat, I hit a 385 bench press, and a 678 deadlift. As far as the squat goes, I was kind of nervous and shaky, and I have to take a look at how I'm warming up and what the week of looks like leading up to the competition, because the muscles are really fresh, But what's happening, I think, is that the nervous system hasn't quite developed again to, whoa, this is a heavy weight I'm about to be lifting. So there's that little shaking motion that you sometimes get when you're descending or something like that, when you've taken a few days off. And it happened during the meet, during the squat. The strength was all there, but the bar path just didn't quite feel as comfortable. I had compliments from a few different people about my form on squat and deadlift, which I assume comes part from the fact that I'm competing in an SPF meet, and partially because I drop my squats to the ground, which I can't complain about. I like, and it's fun for me. So now we're on deadlift, opening with 585, and this is a good time for me to start talking about my thoughts after the meet. It's time to set my sights a lot higher. It's time to make my reach goals a lot farther away, and I've decided that I'll be shooting for a 650 squat, a 450 bench, and a 750 deadlift. I have to set my sights higher than what Bryce can currently do. That asshole. I want I want to make sure that I can beat him, and if I'm just setting my goals even to what he can do, it's contingent on what someone else can do, not on what I can do. So I want to make this about me and about busting my ass and becoming one of the best 198ers ever. And I think that if I just keep inching my goals up, I'm not going to get there in any reasonable time frame. So it's about making leaps and bounds, and that's what I'm going to try to do in both training and in meets, which means a larger off season, fortunately or unfortunately, whatever the case may be. As far as the deadlift goes, I'm realizing that whatever happens during training, if I'm focusing on squat, if I'm focusing on bench press or deadlift, my deadlift, for some reason, just comes out of nowhere when it comes to a meet. It must be the combination of family, music, the crowd, being in a meet, having to perform. But I set a 678, which is higher than what I did at Raw Unity, and close to my all-time best by 2 pounds of 680. I was at an APA meet and they were using pounds, so it was exactly 680. So kind of coming in on that 700, which was another one of my old dream goals. So I'm looking to set my sights even higher and work as hard as possible. I'll be using that program Coach My Video to take a look at these lifts here and see how long it took me to complete each of them. If there were any deviations in form in my knees on squats, in my elbows on bench press, in how long it took me to get up on the deadlift, and take a look at my weaknesses and see what I can use in this as far as information to dictate what my training is going to be in the future. And I'd like to stay with Westside and continue to rotate in exercises that are going to make a positive impact on my future. So the new stretch goal is an 1850 total, which would be absurd for me. I'm going to continue to work my ass off. This is me getting super focused for my last attempt, the 678 deadlift, which put me as the winner of the lightweight class. Fortunate enough also to get to see Dan Green break an all-time record for the 242 weight class total, and Eric Spotto crush a bench press record of 716, I believe. So I was among amazing company, met some new people, helped Sarah out with her first powerlifting meet, and all around had a great time. It's back to training, it's back to busting my ass, and I look forward to providing some awesome content for those of you guys who are following this channel.